Hello and welcome to the Saturday edition of The Box Seat. I'm Mark Warwood. 8 races on Miss Andretti Stakes Day at Ascot Good Times. We're expecting a sunny day, 37 degrees Celsius. The track to be a good 4 and the rail, it will be at the true or the inside position as we call it in WA. Race number 1 at Ascot on Saturday will jump at 12:48. It's the Tap Touch Better Your Bet Maiden over 1100 metres and in replay. Let's have a look at the last start performance of No Mean Feat.
Bella's directly down on their inside. Famous Romance inside of it. Dole City searching for run desperately at this stage. Under the whip behind them, Sporty Spice. Dropping back off them is Carly Emily. At the 150, Wild on Brook is the leader. He goes to work now. Wild on Brook, or Smart Fox at least. Smart Fox hits the lead now and Smart Fox pulls away. It's Smart Fox.
No Mean Feat has had only the 6 starts as a 7-year-old, but he has placed second on 5 occasions, including in the replay race. That was at Pinjarra on Boxing Day. He was first up that day without a trial. Gets the visors on here, the blinkers off, gets a decent gait. Does have the bars on one of his feet, but he's had the bars on most of his career. He's clearly had a number of issues, having only had those 6 starts as a 7-year-old. Goals on top from number 10 Friars Classic with Chris Parnham in the saddle. He's ridden this horse every time it's placed, which has been 5 times out of its 9 starts. He's been aboard for 8 of those races. Gets a nice gate here with second last start behind Swanky Lass at Bunbury. He's knocking on the door. One of the likely favourites here is True Image down the bottom. Gets barrier number 11. It's in the cerise and white. It's out of New Image. Probably wants a lot further than the 1100 metres. He tried over 1300 metres last campaign. It was on wet tracks, could improve, but I don't think this is one of Bob Peters' better horses. And then number 2, Family Discussion, has drawn a horrible gate here. The blinkers do go on, but 15 of 15 for Family Discussion, who's had 3 second places from 7 starts. Top selection in race number 1, it's the maiden. Number 1, No Mean Feat, to beat 10 Friars Classic, 13 True Image and 2 Family Discussion. Race number 2 at Ascot on Saturday will jump at 1:28. It's the Amelia Park Lodge Handicap over 1200 metres for the 3-year-olds. One of those 3-year-olds is Final Hearing. Let's have a look at his latest trial.
And New Age is trying to split the middle. Down the straight they run and a Requisition leads the way. Threads of Ivy moved up quickly with Media Baron. Flat to the boards underneath them was Fair Nikita, and New Age switches wider for the run and Final Hearings back to the tail. Media Baron went up on the outside and hit the front inside the last 100. Draws clear and Media Baron comes on to beat Threads of Ivy. Third
Final Hearing has won 2 of his 4 starts in the cerise and white, and I think there's been excuses for the 2 defeats. The first loss was in an absolutely farcically run race at Belmont, won by Pablo's Poem, with Lord Help Me Run second. Forgiving the run in that race, they went about 15 lengths slower than benchmark to the 600. And then in the Faritha Stakes, he was beaten quite a long way, 5 lengths by the Velvet King. May well not have been his day that day. That form's okay, certainly for a race such as this. I think Final Hearing off that quiet trial, and having beaten the older horses in a Class 3 when beating Orange Strudel at Ascot on the 31st of October, I think that form is certainly better than anything else in the field. I think he's a worthy favourite. Goes on top. From number 5, Lace Vinsky for the informed Simon Miller yard. Patrick Carberry elects to ride this horse. He could have ridden another horse in the race, which we'll touch upon later. Broke its maiden 2 starts ago, and then was nearly 4 lengths behind Angelic Ruler last start. Has got a wide gate here, the widest gate in fact, gate number 12, but I expect it to come forward and maybe lead. Number 10 is the horse that Patrick Carberry probably could have ridden. That's Fairview in the daily colours with Sean Casey, the trader. I think this horse has got some kind of chance, but I'm taking the push from Carberry, the elects to ride Lace Vinsky. And then number 9, Euphonius, who's been competitive in a number of races. Broke its maiden at Narrogin 3 starts ago, and Corrie Yule jumps back aboard. Damien Lane rode this horse last start. Top selection in race number 2, going with number 3, Final Hearing, to beat 5 Lace Vinsky, 10 Fairview and 9 Euphonius. Race number 3 at Ascot on Saturday will jump at 2:08. It's the C Corp Handicap over 1600 metres and in replay. Let's have a look at the last start performance of Royal Statue.
Home corner, they'd straightened up at the 300. Nelson's Flight kicked 3/4 of a length in front, but now Mrs. Brown's Boy double digit run on. Rising Sea down towards the inside. Ravelli got Bork going for a run. Double digit Mrs. Brown's Boy. Kennedy draws the whip on double digit. Royal Statue starts to charge down the outside, dives but misses.
Royal Statue has won 4 of his 8 starts and expecting to make it 5 from 9 on Saturday. He was a tragedy beaten in the replay race behind Double Digit, just simply didn't get the right run. He lands in a much weaker race than the one he raced in on Perth Cup Day, and I simply can't find any dangers here whatsoever. Maybe gate number 1's not ideal, and maybe they won't go particularly hard, but I just think he's got far more class than any runner in this field. Goes on top, will be odds on, and will be winning. From number 5, Let's Twist. 1-2 start to go in graduation grade. Didn't think that was the strongest race. It beat Nordic King. Last time out, it was in the same race as Royal Statue. Was beaten a length and 3/4. Don't expect it to turn the tables, but I think she can run a reasonable race in the minors. Number 2, Witness in Court, comes from the Brett Pope yard. In fact, he's got 2 runners in this race, and then my 3rd and 4th selections. Just going with Witness in Court ahead of Bella's Idol. Bella's Idol's got the bar plate on the front, and also Witness in Court has just simply got a better strike rate. Has won 6 from 34 as opposed to 2 from 17 for Bella's Idol. Top selection in race number 3, hard to go past number 1, Royal Statue. To beat 5, Let's Twist, 2, Witness in Court, and 4, Bella's Idol. Race number 4 at Ascot on Saturday will jump at 2:43. It is the Iron Jack Handicap over 2100 metres, and in replay, let's have a look at the latest minor placing of Crystal Valley.
Summer Trail battling away from Watch Me Nay Nay. Crystal Valley further back, Reef Keeper. Trump, they're still about 6 lengths off them at the 200. This away in front, out by 2 or 3 lengths. Watch Me Nay Nay, Crystal Valley. Trump, this is charging down the outside. This away in front. Trump, this Crystal Valley flying this away in front though. This away.
Crystal Valley is now placed in each of her last 3 starts, and she probably should have won all 3 of them. 2 Class 3s and then a graduation race. That was the replay event. Was beaten a short head by This Away. It was a tragedy beaten once again. If you look at some collateral form through a horse called Time to Hunt, I think she's the one to beat in this race. She goes on top. From number 2, Magical Charm, she has got the form around Time to Hunt, been beaten by that horse in both of her last 2 starts. William Pike rides here, takes over from Jade McNaught, but on those form lines I think that Magical Charm rates below Crystal Valley, and I think it might be Crystal Valley's day. Number 1, Watch Me Nay Nay, won 3 starts ago at Pinjarra. He was pretty good last start here at Ascot on Perth Cup Day. He was only beaten 3/4 length by Mr. Albie, but that was a pretty slowly run race. Mr. Albie was about 18 wide the trip and still got the chocolates. Emma Stent takes off 3, replacing Paul Harvey. And then number 3, Sentimental Friend, went into a fair few sack books on Perth Cup Day in that Mr. Albie race. Jade McNaught now rides him, gets his weight down to 54.5, but the jury is certainly out about Sentimental Friend. Top selection in race number 4, going with number 6. It's going to be her day, Crystal Valley, to beat 2 Magical Charm, 1 Watch Me Nay Nay, and 3 Sentimental Friend.